yeah. On the roadside, yeah.
Going places with EMP, and we are in East London, and I don't mean the United Kingdom, I actually mean East London, South Africa. We're actually at the back of a township in Tanzania, Zone 16. We slept here for the night and it was a beautiful, nice, cold night, but we woke up to a nice sunny morning right here in Tanzania, Zone 16. We'll talk about a little bit history of this place. We had people like Steve Biko, who were born and raised in this area, and also we'll travel to see Cecilia Makiwane Hospital, which was named after the first African nurse in South Africa. So imagine so much history and so much rich culture going on in East London, and we're going to explore the place itself, but imagine the place I'm standing at. You would think it's somewhere in the first world country in Europe or somewhere else, but the nice river flowing, great vegetation, and everything so majestic as we're looking at it right now, and the sun just sitting and having fun with my face. Stay tuned for more on Going Places, discovering East London and South Africa with EMP.
Going places on the roadside.
So Nomalang, can I call you Nomalang or can I call you Oma, Gogo?
Whatever.
You know, I don't know, because in our culture you're not allowed to call an older person by their first name.
Yeah.
You know, it's deemed disrespectful. So I don't know, maybe because of our Western influences now, it's easier to say.
Easier just to call by a name.
Yeah.
No, either way, it's no big deal, it's just a name. So
Is
whether
it?
they say Gogo,
So you kept you young. Let's put it that way. Your surname, Mali. Are you guys from Mali?
it's my married surname where I got married. My maiden surname is Minyaka.
Okay.
So I got married into the Mali clan.
When did you get married?
I
What
got
year?
married in 1974.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, on the 20th. It was, I finished my 21st birthday on the 1st of July, 1974. And then on the 1st, we got married.
Is it? Was he a difficult person? Or did he nag you? Yeah.
No, he
how was
didn't
he?
nag. You know, I was, I would say I was fresh from school because I just finished off my matric in 1973.
Yeah.
And I was just about to hunt for a job, and then
You got hunted.
he hunted me. Instead of me hunting for a job, he hunted for me and he got me. He said, "You're going to go home.
Yeah.
You're going to cook for my parents." But who's going to cook for my parents?
Yeah.
It sounded so funny, and I went with the story to my mom. Mom,
Yeah.
I met this guy. He said I must go and cook for his parents. What about you guys? And she laughed and said, "No, my dear. If a man says he wants you to go and cook for his parents, means that he's going to marry you." Oh no, but I'm not ready yet to get married
Yeah.
because I was still fresh from school.
Yeah.
But it so happened that he got married with 4 kids.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's very, very wonderful. Nowadays, it's very hard, right?
It's very hard.
You know, you can't even ask a girl to come into your home.
No.
It's like, oh, wow, okay, that's you're moving too fast. How did you, from getting married, where were you staying at the time, actually?
We actually from Garafrinet, a place known as Garafrinet.
Okay.
And my husband is from Utrecht.
Oh, okay.
So
Vietnam,
we
yeah.
met here in East London and we got married here.
So at that time was where you started working. Was that your first job, Cecilia
That-
Makiwane? Was that your
That
first?
was my that was not my first job. I started off in training as a nurse, but during that time, conditions were very stringent. You mustn't get pregnant whilst on training.
Oh, yes.
So
yeah.
most unfortunately, as I was a newlywed, the in-laws wanted me to
To have a
bear
child within your
fruit,
first year
and
of marriage.
most
yes.
unfortunately, I had to drop nursing. because of
Okay.
it, yeah.
Which year did you start working at Cecilia? Was it 1976?
I started on the 22nd of December 1976.
Oh, did they just like hire you because it was Christmas time?
I just wanted to work. So there was nothing funny about me starting on the 22nd of December.
Yes.
We just went through, but most fortunately we were given those days.
Yeah.
The 25th, 26th, and all those other public holidays.
Yes. The history of Cecilia Makiwane, where does it start?
You know, that hospital was built in 1971 or 72, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And there was a company that construction that was building it. It was Lorna Construction.
Alright.
And then the people of Mdantsane named it Kwalona.
In those days, it was named after the company that's building something. You know,
Actually,
so
it was not named. It was the people who used to go there.
Oh, okay.
And the other, you know, when there's a construction, there are people who are being employed
Yes.
to clean up and all that. And if you ask them, where are you working? They would say, I'm working at Kwalona.
Yeah.
So that's how it became popular.
Oh, okay.
It's Kwalona. But after it was finished, the name actually for the
Officiated
hospital
first.
official was
yeah.
Mdantsane Hospital.
Okay.
And that was built mainly for the community, Mdantsane community.
Alright.
Yeah, and the reason behind that was that actually the late President Sebe,
Yes.
LL Sebe, said he's building that for the community because there's no money. Then the only popular hospital was Free Hospital, and
Yeah.
it's quite a distance, as you can see, from Mdantsane to East London.
Okay.
So that was the main purpose, so that the people of Mdantsane won't suffer.
All right.
They must have their health care things and everything close to them.
Yeah. When you say the president, Lesebe, was that Transkei? What was that?
It was Siskai, as another part. It was the Siskai and
Yeah.
the Transkei.
Okay.
So we're following here in Siskai.
Okay, so Transkei had its own.
Its own hospital, its own
yeah.
everything.
Is it?
And the Transkei had its own, but our hospital, it so happened to be a referral hospital.
Oh, okay.
Because we had most specialists and all
Yes.
the people who are hands-on and got the knowledge
Yeah.
about the sicknesses and things like that. So it was a referral hospital.
Oh, okay.
From the Transkei and all the surrounding
Yeah.
villages, they used to come to Cecilia Makiwane Hospital. And after Mdantsane Hospital, it was renamed LFCO Hospital.
So it's been changing.
It's been changing. 1994,
Yes.
when things that there was that change.
Yes, there was that democratic
The
change.
democratic
Yeah.
change that was there. So it was named Cecilia Makiwane Hospital
Yeah.
after the first black nurse.
What you doing, they said. On no good stand.
Yes. Do you know a story of Cecilia Makiwane?
I'm not well versed with the story, but the only thing I know that she was the first black nurse.
Yes.
And
Where was she based? Was she also part of Eastern Cape?
I think the family was from around here, in the
Okay.
Eastern Cape,
Yes.
from the Siskai. The Makiwane family is still alive. There's quite a lot of them.
Okay.
They were it's a big family.
Oh, is
They
it?
are doctors and things like that, but
Also, it all
I don't
stayed
know
in the
where they
family
are,
mostly,
but
yeah.
I think they are located here in East London.
Oh, okay.
But as you know, that we didn't pay much attention. No, Cecilia Makiwane,
Yes.
first black nurses. It's all
That's
I know.
all we all
They
know,
would,
yeah.
oh, the family is there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, since then, it was named Cecilia Makiwane up to now.
What was the culture then, or the environment when Transkei and
Siskai.
Siskai? I mean, so those places have their own presidents. You said, you know. So those presidents were also black.
Yeah. In the Transkei, it was Kaiser Matenzin.
Yeah.
And here it was LL Sebe.
Okay. And in that time, was there a lot of segregation within the communities as well? Because there were black presidents within their own states. I think they were called states then.
Yeah, there was, black
Yeah.
states. There was a lot of controversial things between Transkei and the Siskai.
Yeah.
At times, patients from the Transkei or people from the Transkei, there was that this is from the Transkei, this
Yeah.
the patient is from the Transkei, and what have you,
Yes.
and that lot of
There was
things,
tension
but
that
yeah,
was
it's a
happening
lot of
then, yeah.
tension, and to such an extent that I think in the late 80s,
Yes.
there was a feud between the Transkei and the Ciskei. Our head office was in Bishop.
Yes.
Tukumbana. There was
Yeah.
a big building that Sebe erected, and there was this outstanding building for the Department of Health,
Yes.
the Tukumbana building.
Yes.
So wherever we do anything from Cecilia Makiwan Hospital, it must go via Bishop
Yes,
before
yeah.
they approve all the things that are being done before they're being done at Cecilia Makiwan Hospital.
Yeah.
So on that particular day, we had word from the head office that we've got to check out all the Transkeian people. Go through every file and folder that is there. If it's a Transkeian,
Yes.
put it aside. They're going to be evacuated back to the Transkei. So I don't know what actually happened after that. We went right through the clock. I remember I arrived at
So the patients were moved back
no,
to
not,
Transkei?
not it never happened actually. Anybody who's from the Transkei, we had to take out the folders
Yeah.
and put them aside and make a list of all those people. And our head of our other Bishop was our head office, and there was another part at Zone 6.
Yes.
We had to rush them there, and that's where everything was picked up, and they made another a list of these people. But since then, we never knew what actually happened. But nothing transpired after that.
Bishop has also remained the provincial capital of Eastern
It's up,
Cape.
yeah.
And unfortunately, we didn't stop in Bishop. Would have been nice to see, you know, why Bishop is still the provincial capital, because everybody always mistake it as for East London or Port Elizabeth. How did the transition happen from these two black states?
When you go to the Transkei, we had to have a passport.
Yes.
You couldn't cross the Kai Bridge without a passport. But after 1994, those rules were demolished, and now
Is it?
we came into one. But as you know, there would always be that faction between
Yes.
the clerks and things like that, because they used to point fingers at it. These people from the Transkei and these people from the Ciskei,
Sure.
until such time that we managed.
So you actually had individual passes, like a passbook or a passport
from
itself.
passport from here to the Transkei if you're from the Ciskei.
When
It's no more.
it happened till when, like the actual 1994?
Up until 1994, then it was demolished. But we used to do that. If
Yeah.
you go into the Transkei, you've got to have your passport. Or if you don't have your passport, you'll be turned from the bridge and go back. You can't.
So what was the
pass.
bridge called again?
It was called Iniba.
So where did Ciskei start and begin?
East London was part of the Ciskei, and Umtata was the capital town of the Transkei.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
So Tolos and Kumbu, all those places
They
were
all fell
part
under Umtata.
Umtata.
Mm-hmm.
And then East London was
All these
King Williamstown.
Williamstown and all the side branches, village, all the other villages.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
So this is Going Places. I'm with Nomalanga Mali in our home, and we're just having a very interesting chat on the history of East London and also about Cecilia Makiwana, where she worked, and obviously taking a little bit of a journey of her story. So stay tuned on Going Places with EMP.
Was it going places?